The morning show here on Arise News. Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben.
Over to you.
Good morning, Rufai.
The man that still wears his mask.
Yes, I have to. Some people say you like life too much. You just wear this your mask, but I will continue to do it.
Yes.
And encourage everybody to do so. Yes.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Adesua, my sister.
Good morning.
Now, let's move on. The lead story of these day newspapers: federal government appeals over deregulation. Hope rises for infrastructure funding. Oshibajo says attendant hardship unintended. Rewane, subsidy removal, tariff increase will boost investment. The economists are speaking and they are supporting the government. Bismarck, Rewane, Chike-Obi, yes, yesterday Chike-Obi was on this program at Desuwa. You saw the tweets. Not a popular one, but this is not a popularity contest. Government has to do what it has to do.
Yes.
Now, other newspapers reporting the story, the same story, the Daily Trust newspaper: fuel subsidy removal irreversible. Electricity tariff hike necessary. Buhari, petrol subsidy guzzle 2.124 0.16 trillion under APC. Oil cheapest in Nigeria, Lai Mohammed. Federal government policies, anti-masses, Efeni and civil society organizations. While the New Telegraph, federal government, 10.4 trillion naira spent on fuel subsidy in 14 years. Buhari, we can't borrow to subsidize fuel, electricity. Minister, opposition playing politics with subsidy. That's what opposition always do. They did that in 2012, Ruben, you will recall. Oshibajo, Nigeria lost 60% revenue in 2020. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, anger over fuel price mischievous federal government, says petrol electricity subsidies no longer feasible. Customers with less than 12 hours supply per day not affected. It means I am not affected, but I hope that will be the case. I have not seen 12 hours of continuous power in the last 2 months. Now, the Vanguard newspaper: brace up for more fuel price increases. Buhari says price will change as crude oil price changes. Justify electricity tariff increase. Ask those who get less than 12 hours power not affected. Now, the Nigerian Tribune: Nigeria's revenue dropped by 60% due to COVID-19. Buhari. While, of course, the Punch newspaper: ASU, TUC tackle federal government on refineries. Buhari says subsidy dangerous. President promised to repair refineries 5 years ago. Varsity lecturers: fuel queues will return if we continue subsidy. Buhari warns Nigerians. While the Nigerian Pilot newspaper: toothless labor. Nigerians condemn labor failure to protest over hike in fuel price. Urge Nigerian Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, civil society organizations, others to halt federal government's abysmal economic measures. Decries government's insensitivity to plight of citizens amid COVID-19 pandemic. Opposition playing dirty politics with increases, says Lai Mohammed. Now, the foreign newspaper: if we look at the UK papers, The Guardian, UK, Brussels collapsing trust in Prime Minister revealed in leaked EU document. Diplomatic cables expose suspicion over UK's intent as Brexit talks resumes today. Now, the Prime Minister is threatening not to follow or agree or tear up part of the withdrawal deal already in place, and this in itself is worrisome. As a result, there's declining trust in Boris Johnson, given what has been revealed in these diplomatic cables. But if you look at the Daily Telegraph newspaper of UK, Brexit deal never made sense. Prime Minister tells EU he is insisting that the withdrawal agreement is contradictory, especially as it concerns Northern Ireland. But he's been warned. If you look at the Daily Independent newspaper, also of UK, Prime Minister's Brexit backtrack will hurt UK interest. And that is the EU president who is warning Ursula von der Leyen, is warning Boris Johnson that any attempt to renege and some of those agreements already reached will hurt UK interest and damage, give them huge damage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I just want to come in there. And
yes.
It just goes back to, I think it was Charles de Gaulle, former president of France, that said politicians will say they'll build bridges where there are no rivers. And that's clearly what is playing out in this UK agreement. While it was time for elections last year, what did Boris Johnson do? Said all the sweet things. Oh, we'll get a deal, we'll do everything. Now he's trying to renege on the deal. People like Michel Barnier are crossed with him as regards this. You know, the sticking point here, issues on fishery and some other issues like that.
Yes.
To a large extent, he should not forget that UK has just become an island nation now. Britain has never been small. They call it Great Britain, but it's not looking great for Britain now.
Yes.
So he should always remember that, because what Boris is doing is going to really hurt him. You have very stringent negotiators, people like Michel Barnier that once served in the French government. You also have people like Ursula von der Leyen, you know, that is really very calculative, and the team at large. And what's this, the former PM's, I think of Van Rompuy, he's also on the team of negotiators. So there are a lot of people talking to him, and he should just come clean on this and ensure that you make a deal that is equitable across board. I knew it when he was talking about hard border, that hard border, the Northern Ireland issue, will create a lot of big crises.
He seems to be ready for a no-deal Brexit.
It's beginning to look like that now. But real quickly, I just also want to talk about Nigerians. I think I heard somebody saying that oil prices in Nigeria is about the cheapest in the world. The last time I checked, if you have a fatherland card in Venezuela, is 0.020 per liter. That's about 7 naira 76 kobo per liter.
You want to be on the same league with Venezuela?
Quickly, we discussed the trade talks with Michael Wilson earlier between the EU and the UK. The meeting is holding today in London.
Yes.
And he was of the view that, look, if you are going into a meeting to negotiate, it's better for you to take a strong stance and do a lot of tough talking, hoping that you'll be able to get your way through, and that what we may be dealing with may just be a showboating. Now, every country, there's no limitation of time on when a country can stand up for its own interests.
Yes.
The British, the UK, speaking through Prime Minister Johnson, although there isn't a general consensus over the issues. Now, he says the document that was signed for the exit on January 31 is legally ambiguous. And he's concerned that Northern Ireland will be isolated from the UK because there will now be customs checks and all that. Now, second, there's also the issue about fish. The UK wants to be able to sell its fish in the EU. The EU wants to be able to take its boats into UK waters. So these are the issues on the table. And then, of course, the UK Internal Market Bill, the details of which, Michel Barnier says violates standing commitments and that the UK should stand by its commitment. But the position is that perhaps if there is no deal and the UK takes the Australian-style trade relationship with the EU, then it will still be able to have its way, relying on WTO guidelines. But we'll see what comes out of it, whether there will be progress or the talks will unravel.
We'll monitor that on Arise News all day.
All right. Thank you so much. I'd like to say thank you to you, Mr. Efeni, and thank you, everybody.